What is up, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube? That's right. I'm Chris and today I'm going to be talking about The Expanse, Season 1, Episode 8. So let's get this thing started. Stay to the end. Don't be an ass. Watch the whole video. Let's get this thing started. So basic plot of this episode, let's talk about it right here. It's pretty much about Holden's crew. They pretty much go and check out a derelict ship. Not a Reaper ship, but a derelict ship to see if there's any passengers or whoever may be on there. Not to salvage, but to look. They think they're getting set up. Who knows? You can't really trust Johnson, but maybe they can, maybe they can't. Let's talk about this right here. Right now. So some positives. I thought this was a pretty good episode, but it did kind of feel like there was nothing in here up until really like the last maybe 10, 15 minutes to me personally. But some good things that I really enjoyed about this episode was the opening scene with Miller and the Mormon. Pretty much we get to learn a bit more about Miller, but we also get to add a bit more layers to the character of him. I thought it kind of added a bit more to his character, me personally. We learned that he never really space traveled before. This was his first time space traveling. So even though that's small details, certain things really do kind of stick out of that. But I thought it was a very well conversation, and it kind of really did kind of set up who Miller is. Maybe he lost some faith. Who knows? Also, some good things some things added to the story was that, once they do go on the ship and they start to like look around, we learned that the ship for Holden's crew that they're looking at is pretty much the exact same ship that attacked them on Canterbury. So therefore, when we kind of learned that, I was just okay. But then you see that the ship is kind of deserted and is destroyed. So what the hell destroyed it? Who knows? But if I'm correct, somebody used it as bait, just to kind of attack them. So the conspiracy kind of gets bigger and bigger every week. But yeah, eventually they kind of do destroy the ship because they realize that it could be used as a weapon because like some ice fungus growing from the reactor or whatever. But yeah, they kind of do that, and I was just like, okay, I can understand it. You got to destroy the weapon. You don't know who the hell could get it. So it's reasonable. And not only that, but eventually they kind of bargain with the spy, the spy from last week. And eventually they kind of bargain with him because they need to find this guy named Polanski. And therefore, once they find Polanski, they will let him go. Now, granted, what this episode also kind of really did well was that you get to see that Holden and his crew, they are cohesive now. I feel like they are working well. They are listening to Holden. They are listening to his advice, and they are understanding everything. Because once he said a lot of his decisions, they completely accepted it. Before, everybody was kind of like doing their own agenda, going here, going there, whatever it may be, and they all never really fitted that well. Everybody had their own opinions on something, but now they all kind of accept Holden's decisions. And I was just like, okay, now we're starting to get something. But eventually they go to the hotel room to kind of track down Polanski, and then the hotel scene pretty much in the lobby, I thought that was a nice intense, a lot of tension, I don't know what the hell that is. I'm fucking up. Anyway, you get my point. It was very intense, pretty much. And it was a lot of people sweating. The spy gets away, and then they eventually get saved in the shootout. I thought it was a cool shootout. They eventually get saved by Miller. Miller eventually meets up with them because he was tracking down Julie Mao, and he was also tracking down Polanski, and then he kind of saves them, and bam. So I thought when Miller and kind of Holden finally did meet up, it did feel like a crossover, and a very cool crossover because Holden and Miller, they both had their own shit going on, and eventually kind of link up now, and eventually looking for not Julie Mao, but pretty much the same guy. And they eventually kind of look at, and Tom Jane, I feel like he really took control of kind of like that scene when they kind of meet, whatever. But that's Thomas Jane. But they eventually track down Julie Mao, whatever, and we realize that Julie Mao is actually now, spoiler, dead. So who killed Julie Mao? I don't know. It looked like she had some type of weirdness on her body, but I don't know what that is from. But yes, also the government still wants Holden dead. That the Indian lady, I forgot her name, is trying to say that he's not a terrorist, but they're not listening. It's still a go, and she's trying to do something for it. But who killed Julie Mao? Is the government going to stop trying to kill Holden? Who knows? But that's my review of The Expanse. I missed last week, but I saw it, but I didn't review it. I did it. Here it is. Comment, subscribe, and like. Subscribe. Help me out. Help me get to 200. Signing out.